All right, welcome to week 5 feature matches, our second match of the night. We got another battle of league veterans here. We got Chris York, who is our league founder, and we got Chris R. Sinkwar on the other side. So two veterans going at it. We got Renault here for our two other matches tonight on commentary. What's going on in Chris R's hand, Sinkwater?
Currently, it's a bit of a slow hand. He has a Green Bobble and a Herb Rumbler
Oh,
and pretty much all lands.
ooh.
So
So he's got
it's gonna be slow.
he's got 5 lands in
Hopefully,
hand.
5 lands.
Oy, okay. I mean, he gets to surveil next turn at the very least.
And maybe he can put some creatures or artifacts in the grave.
Well, here's a good time to play a Hunted Nightmare here. So this is a 4/5 menace for 3, where when it enters, opponent gets to put a Death Touch counter on a creature they control. However, no creatures means no Death Touch counters, so no downside. Yeah.
Yeah.
So York does have a little bit of an issue here with his colors, but he can still cast 2 of his spells. So it looks like he's a black-white deck, 2-color deck here. He can still cast his Gastel Raider, and he can cast his Spin Out, and he's got 3 white cards that he can't cast yet.
Ooh, this is pretty problematic. I think uh, I think York might put the pressure on Sink Water,
Wow.
and he's gonna take a lot of
Yeah,
damage.
I mean, this is one of the few times where I'm okay to uh to miss with Gastel Raider, because normally I always miss with that card, so I stopped playing it. But
Yeah.
when I look at my opponent's hand and see all lands in a 5-drop, I can live with it. But he does have a dinosaur here, which is going to get spun out
Mhm.
almost assuredly. Yeah, so York does have 3 white cards in hand that he can't cast as of yet, but um, the Earth Rumbler is going to be live next turn since there is a creature and an artifact in the graveyard, but it won't be able to block the
Yeah.
menace.
He won't be able to block Menace. Ooh, that's an interesting choice. But I guess Stinkwater is just going to put the Earthrounder in play.
Of note, if York draws a plains, he'll be able to cast his Collision Course and blow up the Earth Rumbler. But for now, he gets to keep attacking
Okay.
with Menace, and he's drawn another Market Backwalker, so at least he got something to do with his mana here.
He does have to find a way to block the Nightmare, because otherwise the Gasol Raider will also have Menace.
Yeah,
And
if he's able to deal damage to him. Yeah. So looking at the records here, York is at 14-10, so this is potentially going to be his last match. And Sinkwater Chris R is on 14-9, so pretty evenly matched here. Again, both longtime players, both looking to make a push here in week 5.
yeah.
He's gonna have to cycle here, or else he's gonna be dead.
Oof. It's not looking good currently. There's an engine rat and a back on track in his hand. All lands after that.
All right, Engine Rat means he can live.
But is living enough currently for
uh,
this
he'll,
turn.
so he'll he'll have to double block the menace and take 4, and
Maybe my
then
5 if he
oh
if
right,
the market
yeah. York did draw a follow up play here. He does have the Risen Necro Regent, which is going to be a pretty nice follow up here, and more or less put the game on ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he crews. So apparently, only having 1 color of mana is better than only drawing lands. So we've seen both
Yeah.
players be limited, but York was still able to cast, uh, you know, 5 spells this game, which was enough.
And I think the Regent might be able to take over the game unless Sync draws insanely good.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to be able to stop all. Like, there's 4 lethal creatures in play. So unless he has a board wipe, I don't know what kind of card he can find that can create not even 4 blockers, but 5 blockers because one of the creatures has menace. So Not looking good here.
And nope, a bottle of mole. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, he kept a hand that it could go south, right? Like it's a hand that is has a fail rate if you keep drawing lands or just don't draw relevant cards. And York was able
I,
to cast enough spells. Like he still had the three white cards stranded in his hand, but you know, it was more than enough here against an
I
opponent
think
that only played
playing
three
the
spells.
4-5 was definitely something turning the game upside down. Just like playing a 4-5 menace without any downside
Yeah,
just makes
yeah, like that's
the
a card that I don't think it's been a long time since I played that. It was an Ikoria, but I don't believe that was a card that I would have wanted in most of the time, just because the downside is pretty large. Like giving an opponent's creature death touch in exchange for getting a 3 mana 4 or 5 menace is it's just okay, but here it was just. I mean, opponent has nothing in play. You just play a 3 mana 4 or 5 menace. It's going to do work. Yeah, so pretty very low to the ground deck here for York. No changes made, but his deck is full of 1, 2, and 3 drops, and not too much on the high end. So pretty low curve.
uh,
Is
so we can see some very good high drops with 3 hazard. There's a Nether Spark, so I think the matchup is pretty clear. Uh, York has to rush down before the green creatures come up the board and can take over.
Yeah, I mean, well,
So
that's what green is in this set, and I will say I think this is the first Orzhov deck I've seen this whole league. But it's if it's working, it's working. I have yet to see an Orzhov deck.
I would say Orzhov is very good if there's enough removal with spin out, with good bombs too. But like that's pretty much every deck.
Yeah, he has
You need
four. He has
removal
four
and bomb.
copies of he has 4 copies of Ride's End, so that's pretty nice removal.
No change for Sinkwater
Yeah,
too. So I think he. Oh, this is a pretty good hand.
yeah, he did have some
A
mulligan
bit,
though.
yeah. But spin out, regal, and the Aether Spark might get through.
Yeah, Aether
That
Spark looking like it's going to be okay here against York's hand. Doesn't look like he can really put too much pressure on it. So
he
he
just have
has, yeah,
yeah, just have to be lucky enough to draw land, and I think Sink can go to town.
yeah. So York has a pretty solid hand here. He has 2 planes to go with his night market, and then he has a Leonin Surveyor, Grim Bauble. He's got the Carrion Cruiser. He's got the Crypt Caller Chariot, which is the rare that makes zombies when you discard, and he has the Embalmed Descendant, the gold card that makes a zombie. So pretty nice hand. He's drawn another Carrion Cruiser too, so I can see what his deck is doing. Like pretty low to the ground, have some removal, have some recursion, and get on the board fast and early. But this is going to pose a problem here.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know how York is going to be able to pass through all of the big green creatures, but if he got for 15-10,
Yeah,
he could
yeah,
probably take another win against other green decks.
yeah. He's at 14-10 right now. Um,
14.
yeah, so this attack was like basically a bluff. He had a Grim Bauble, but that would have been like a 2-for-1 post combat. But Sinkwater just said, whatever it is, I don't wanna fall for it. So I'm just gonna not block. Since the creature has first strike, some sort of trick will allow it to win combat. But he actually didn't have the trick. He was just gonna possibly Grim Bauble it after combat, and that would have been his only play for the turn. So
Yeah, sometimes it's okay to take damage, but the speed mechanic makes sometimes blocking necessary, even if you think there's a bluff. Like, do you really want to have an Emball Ascendant at full speed that could really clock out a slower deck?
yeah, so Chris is again
So,
just attacking his creatures into this 5-4 with abandon here. Once again, the only trick is the Grim Bauble. but he is going to use that here. So I think this was sort of the best case scenario because he blocked like the most expendable creature, which was the zombie token.
Yeah,
Because if he blocked the 1/2, he would not be able to do this play. Like if he blocked the 1/2 with the dinosaur, he would not be able to -2/-2 it.
yes, indeed. So,
So he just banked on him blocking one of the 2/2s, and now he could play a very cool card here from our bonus sheet, the scrap trawler. Or I don't know if it was bonus sheet, but it was also in Kaladesh. So, but
ooh,
yeah, so this is a it's like a mini, it's like a little bit of a recursion engine. Whenever an artifact goes into the graveyard, you could return to your hand another artifact with less mana that from your graveyard to your hand. So cool little
uh,
card. It does need some work to get going, but much like the 5/4 ruled the board, this 4/4 is now going to rule the board.
and I can confirm in hand there's a the 8/8 dinosaur
Oh
that
boy!
can cycle, and this is going to be very difficult for the Orzhov deck, which probably take it out with some spin out and things like that. Oh, the land for the eight
Wow.
eight.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough go of it here for York. This is like the worst nightmare of like these two color decks. Is just my opponent starts playing green creatures. Like I was playing a blue black deck for the majority of the league, pretty low to the ground. Like I had a bunch of Grim Baubles, but I'd never got a spin out in my pool. So I was just like,
Yeah,
as soon as opponent played a Hazard of the Dunes or bigger, I was just like, oh, I probably lose now.
and I'm pretty scared because there's still the Aether Spark in Sinkwater's hand, and Rex and Aether Spark, I think, could be a could be very dangerous. Draw
Oh yeah,
cards, make mana, and I don't know if if York can come back from that.
yeah. And I mean, he
It's,
cast the Carrion Cruiser. It did exactly what you would want. Mill 2 cards, get back a creature, play it. Like York has so far this game done everything his deck is wanting to do, but he just faces down an 8/8 without a removal in hand, and it's just there's no there's no recourse. Like can't attack into it. And if Sinkwater decides to attack him, he can't race it. It's he needs a removal and he needs it basically in the next turn or two.
or he can try
Second
to
Imperious
double,
War.
triple block, but it's so much card disadvantage.
Okay, so Sinkwater decided he's not going to attack this turn. He's gonna wait. It seems he said, "I have the bigger creatures. When I'm ready to attack, I'll be able to attack." Does he have an instant in his hand that he would want to keep up? Or
Yeah, spin out.
okay, so he's going to attack when he can have spin out as a combat trick or removal during
Or
combat.
he wants to make the most counters on Aether Spark.
Yeah, that works too. It's like I
Yeah.
said, going to be a rough go here. All right, so he
Yeah,
is going to. I mean, York. He can't just do nothing. So he is going to attack with this chariot, which is menace. So it means one of the creatures would die. I think Sinkwater is incentivized enough to not want York to get max speed here.
yeah, it enables the whole game plan of the Orzhov deck. So if you
Okay,
can still put it on the
he's got a ride's end here on top of the deck now. So I'm not sure why he timed the scry. I guess he wanted to see how his opponent block. He does get back his Grim Bauble
oh,
here, so that's neat.
hmm. Yeah, Grimble is still a very good card, but in this format, it can be really difficult to enable correctly.
Yeah, I had 4 Grim Baubles in my league deck, and there were some games where I was just sitting there and I was like, well, these Grim Bauble, like multiple times, I could not even kill anything. I paid 4 mana to surveil 2. That was what my Grim Bauble did sometimes. So a nice card to have, but not always. Like this is a particularly poor matchup for it. Yeah, so this Earth Rumbler, just combined with all the other things, York does have a Ride's End here, but that only gets rid of one of the problems. So he's going to do this while Sinkwater's tapped out, just in case there's a protection of some kind. So now he's just facing down the Earth Rumbler on a 5/4. Just.
That's still plenty enough. But maybe York can grab some speed, try to wiggle out.
I mean, if he attacks with two creatures here, he will get his speed, but
Like
he'll be throwing one away, so I don't think that's
like
real good.
he could attack with the Leonin, the Scrap, and the Carrion. The Leonin and the Scrap, it doesn't matter that much if they die.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna just play his carrion cruiser. Milling two removals there is quite bad. He milled a Raizen
Mhm.
and a Thopter Arrest, which is like a, basically like Oblivion Ring type effect, Banishing Light type of card.
Yeah. I the Kaladesh remastered, even though it was medium in power level compared to all of the Aetherdrift, was still quite popular for what I saw.
Well, it was popular early on, right? I think like once you get to like week two, week three, even like no one's taking Kaladesh anymore. I think it was a popular option early on because it was just there's the idea of if I add more cards right away, more cards is going to make my deck better, right? If I'm waiting till 3 or 4 losses to get a pack, that's less time I could spend with those extra cards in my deck, right? That's the idea.
Also, all of the artifact synergies with like the Esper archetypes
Yeah,
is also very interesting. There's
yeah.
some very good cards in Kaladesh, but it's still a lower power level.
I mean, my
Likewise, but like the top Terraris is still a pretty good
yeah,
card
that card's very good.
in the Gauntlet.
I mean, Kaladesh does have my favorite Magic card of all time, so I would have to. I opened it once, but I didn't get my card, so
Which is
it's the Cloud Blazer. That is, I'm well known as a as an enjoyer of the Cloud Blazer. So looking at York's turn here, he does have enough mana to potentially play all the cards in his hand, which is two Grim Baubles and a Chariot, and he can kill off this 5/4 here. Yeah, so I will say I believe there was one player, I think it was Jamie W, who did open a Cloud Blazer from a Kaladesh pack, but it was the only one open, so he is very fortunate. Yeah, so York is, I mean, like this deck is, I mean, no pun intended because of the scrap trawler, but his deck seems like pretty scrappy in general. Just it's a little bit off the beaten path as far as what we see in what we've seen in Aetherdrift League, but he's doing his best job to stay alive here, and he is definitely still alive here. He has a bunch of resources in play.
yeah. I Speaking of Kaladesh, there's a rich scale Tusker now
Okay,
in a Sinkwater Sand.
that's a good one. Yeah,
So like Sinkwater is still stuck on mana currently, so it doesn't help really with the board because he can only play one spell a turn, but he has the card in hand to take over.
yeah, but this is a
So
good card to play, right? Because it's a 5 mana 5/5 that puts a counter on each of your other creatures when it comes in. So
yeah.
it's a pangolin beast for what it's worth, as you do. Is he going to attack now, or is he going to still wait till he can attack with spin out?
Hmm. Well, current what's the if is it better to attack now versus maybe York having speed? Speed is hellbent. There's nothing left in his hand. Like
Oh,
York is pretty much at the mercy of his top deck,
this
which
this
has a grip
lotus
bubble.
this lotus guard disciple is a pretty good draw, actually.
Oh,
So he can give his chariot indestructible and then basically attack, and it will, because it has menace, it will get to eat one of the creatures if Sinkwater wishes to block, which he probably doesn't. But having speed is going to change a couple of things here, especially particularly the embalmed descendant and then the surveyor when it goes to the graveyard. And York has resources here in play too, right? He has the two grim baubles. He has like he has quite a little bit going on here.
and if Sync doesn't block, he is at effectively uh like 6 life if he doesn't spend the spin out on the ascendant.
I mean, I think he
And
might have to now.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a Fang Guardian. But
Okay.
I think the ascendant is the top priority right now.
Yeah. Now that he's at speed, he's gonna have to address that. I, I mean, we'll see. I mean, none of these other creatures. The only other thing you would consider killing is the chariot there, but we'll see. We'll see how he goes about this. Also, these Grim Baubles can kind of keep coming back from the graveyard when his bigger artifacts die. So he could sack his Grim Bauble end of turn. Then, if an artifact dies, he can get it back, etc. So it looks like, yeah,
He just keeping the spin ball. It's the spin out.
the spin
Sorry.
out or the Fang Guardian.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a spin out of our own here on York's side that he's going to keep on top here. So we might have dueling spin outs. So York does have he does have attack now, at least like with the Lotus card. So the Lotus card
Yeah.
can start getting in for basically guaranteed damage.
And there's also the Creep Chariot that's
Yeah,
still
I mean,
very dangerous.
yeah, I haven't seen a lot of discard in his deck. Very, very little, but I mean, it's still just 5/5 menace crew too. Like that's just big. I don't think I've seen a single card yet that allows him to discard a card, but
Well, there's a night market, but if that's the only card,
yeah,
that's not guaranteed with the Chariot.
yeah. But I mean, it's still a decent rate. Like I'm not the biggest fan of vehicles in general, but I mean, this is 4 mana for 5/5 menace crew two. If it had no other text, would I play it? Depends on the deck, but if you're trying to get speed, I guess it could be pretty helpful. So Sinkwater going to, I mean, he's going to cast one of his spells. I'm assuming. What's what's
Yeah.
what's the last card in hand? That's other than the
So it's currently Spin
yeah.
Out, Aether Spark, and Fang Guardian.
Okay, so he's still holding the Ether Spark. Yeah, he just hasn't had a good window to get it into play because it's just
Yeah.
he's been
It's
trying
like
to
the
not fall behind him. But
the
okay,
double block. Uh, York could play the spin out, but then the Fang Guardian could still kill the Chariot.
yeah, that's actually
So
going to work out pretty. It's it's not going to work out that bad because the Crypt Caller Chariot's going to die. It's going to get back the Grim Bauble, which can finish off the mole.
mhm.
So he'll at least be able to. So he at least will be able to kill the mole.
So yeah, Sync is in the tank,
Yeah, I don't
and
love using the spin out here. I kind of want to use my spin out on the Earth Rumbler probably, just because I can't ever really block it in a way that makes sense if I'm York. But he saw an opportunity to get a 2 for 1 here, and he attempted to
oh,
take it.
the spin out is
Okay,
being used.
I think he realized what I think Sinkwater realized what we realized, which is that if he does use the Fang Guardian, he can just get back the Grim Bauble and kill the mole.
Or the Fang,
Yeah, well,
whichever
I
is
think he
the.
would rather kill the 3/4, but the 4/2 trades for all of his creatures. So yeah, so he does get the Grim Bauble back here. Yeah, these surveils have been really really important here for York because he's going to get to surveil again now.
Just getting those slight advantage in like a board start is very important. Oh, maximum overdrive.
Okay, he still can't cast two spells in a turn though, unfortunately.
He yeah, indeed, still stuck to 5 lands.
Yeah. So his options
So
are a little limited, and I mean, he draws the maximum overdrive the turn after the spin out, of course. Like that's it's kind of how it always turns out. It's like it would have been nice to have this last turn, but let's see what he can do here.
um
I mean, at some point, and like it might be as soon as next turn, like York can just start attacking all and like not really caring that much. And he's drawn another spin out here. Interesting that he
oh
did not sack his Grim Bauble there. Not sure why he didn't sack it. Might have just forgot or had some other plan for it. But with a spin out now in hand, I mean, I guess the maximum overdrive will stop that. York's probably thinking about starting to attack all here potentially.
like what's the worst that could happen if he go all out? The Ascendant is blocked. The Earth Rumbler blocks a 3/2. He takes 4, 5, 6,
Yeah,
7, 8.
like I guess like a
Ooh,
removal a removal on the Embalmed Descendant would be bad. Like if you had a removal spell for Embalmed Descendant,
yeah.
that would be
I
unfavorable.
Double crew threatens lethal, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be tight.
interestingly, it did that. I would have crewed with the is it crew one the carrying cruiser?
Yes,
Okay, I would
if I
have
remember
crewed. I would have
correctly.
crewed with
Yeah.
the 1/2 because I don't want that attacking ever. I would rather the Leonin Surveyor go into the graveyard so I can draw a card.
Maybe to recur the Grim Bobble. I don't know. If he really wants to keep this crop trawler.
So he is attacking with the yeah. I would have definitely crewed with the 1/2 rather than the Leonin. But now that he's here, I think he just says I'm going to attack all.
Yeah.
And his Fang Guardian is going to probably most assuredly come in here. Yeah. So just as I was saying, it's probably about time for him to attack all. He's come to the same conclusion here, especially after drawing a spin out. So he's going to spin out now in response here.
Oh,
Does he have
this is
another?
very
Does he have another
interesting.
card in his graveyard to exile?
Yes, he
Okay.
could, and
Okay.
then after he could maximum
Exactly.
overdrive
Yeah.
it,
It has to be a
protect
creature.
the Earth Rumbler,
Yeah. It does have to be a creature. So York is doing
or
this
not
now.
protect.
Oh, the maximum overdrive works on anything.
No, it's only creature
Yeah.
for the maximum
Yeah.
overdrive.
So it has to be a creature here. The Earth Rumbler has to be a creature first. So good. Yeah. So he's exiling it again. York is probably figuring out why he's doing that, which is to do the maximum overdrive. So this does block Sinkwater from casting the Fang Guardian to have three blockers.
Mhm.
So yeah, this shortage of mana is really hurting him here. It would have been nice to just cast two spells in a turn like once in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he knows. I think he's gonna block. Well, he's trying to figure out how to best block here, and I think it starts with blocking the Bomb Descendant. Yeah.
Does he wants to kill the Karen Cruiser? Alright, it's 5, 6, 7.
So if
No,
the
it's lethal
if
currently.
does the Embalmed
Uh,
Ascendant trigger off itself dying?
5. Yes,
Okay, so
it's
this
lethal
would be
currently.
lethal here. So
So
he'll have to give the Embalmed Ascendant a read and then block something else.
I don't think he can block something else.
Yeah, so this way he's gonna take
1, 2, 3, 4,
five, six,
5,
seven.
7.
Yeah, so he'll
Oof.
still be alive. Just and the pot homo is gonna die to the known Grim Bobble in hand here.
And also 2 scrap trawler triggers. No? No? Okay.
There was nothing to get back.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
nah.
there had to be something less than three in the graveyard.
I thought there was another Grand Bubble in the graveyard. So,
All right,
oof.
so
Here's the
it's
land.
not looking, yeah, but not looking good here with the, yeah. So York stays alive here. He staves off elimination. He finishes the week 15 and 10, which means he gets to make it to week 6 to try and keep pushing. But very, very scrappy little Orzov deck. We didn't, like I mentioned, haven't seen Orzov the whole way through. So congratulations to Chris York on the win here, and see you in a little bit for our final match of the week.